medicine was your second love. What's your first?
Well, medicine is my first love.
He's probably the most astute human medicine diagnostician I think I've ever met.
And he's a hardworking doctor, general practitioner, and a very good one, very good diagnostician.
And he's almost 100% accurate. I'd say he's 100% accurate. I've never seen anything like it.
So you need Darvocet, you need Premarin, and what else?
You know, I'm taking Celebrex.
Okay.
What do you think of the...
Okay, Celebrex has gotten a bad rap, and I think it is a rap that it is not deserved.
Advertising leads to unintended bias. You know, people come to believe things that just aren't right, but they believe them genuinely. Now, you know, there's good evidence, for example, that free meals and those sorts of gifts do lead to changes in people's beliefs. This is a different problem from when people think of corruption and big gifts or trips overseas. Certainly that does happen in medicine, but a bigger problem really is the smaller things, just like pens. The studies show that they are just as influential as bigger things. One of the reasons that they work so well is because they're small and subtle.
So for National Farm Free Day, what we decided to do is that in order to make a public statement of what we believe, we're going to gather as much what we call contraband, I guess, pens, mugs, advertising, things that we've collected from hospitals and from drug reps, and we're going to take that all and we're going to give it back to the drug company, saying we don't want this. And so we're going to put it on their doorstep and say we don't want this, we don't need this. We can stay away, and we can stay unbiased for the benefit of our patients.
Physicians, and we don't need the marketing, we just want the medicine. Thanks. Med students don't want them, we want the evidence and not the pens.
Thank you.
Here you go, here's a
More
research, less marketing, please.
More R&D, less promotion. Here you go. What is this?
What do you think of these medical students giving you back pens?
I don't know. I like pretty pens.
I can go on this side of the curb, this side of the street, it's not a problem. This side is their pocket, part of the problem.
Doctors get gifts that they actually do want, by and large. Even if they're little trinkets, they take them and then they feel obliged to reciprocate. The drug companies know this. They wouldn't be giving out these little gifts, which in aggregate cost a fair amount of money, if they didn't know that they were going to get a return on that. And the return is because of this gift relationship, because of this obligation that doctors, and not just doctors, anybody who gets a gift feels once they've gotten it. You have to repay the person who's given you the gift.
It's overdone, in my opinion. It's expensive because they use the most expensive restaurant here in Bryan for most of their dinners. And in my opinion, this money could be better spent somewhere else. It is enjoyable, and they have had some good speakers, and I do enjoy the speakers. It really does not influence me in prescribing their medications.
Drug companies have enormous influence over what doctors are taught about drugs and what they prescribe. The companies support most continuing medical education courses, well over 70%, medical conferences, and meetings of professional societies. They have armies of sales representatives to visit doctors and teaching hospitals to tout their wares, hand out free samples, and provide meals and other gifts. There's ample evidence that this huge investment in medical education pays off in terms of the prescriptions doctors write.
Where are we?
We're in San Francisco at the ACP conference.
What do you think of the meeting?
It's a very great meeting. I like it a lot. It's been great so far. Very informative.
So far the conference is great. It's very good.
And what did you think of the exhibit hall here?
Well, I think the exhibit hall was, number one, it was very well organized. I've learned a couple things about certain drugs. I'm a medical student, so I've learned about some new drugs I've never heard of before. do a reasonable job of attracting physicians by giving free giveaways.
It's really gaudy, and I walk through it when I need to use the washroom or go, use the water fountain. But it's very, I don't know, it's very tacky and overdone.
Yeah, it's a little glitzy for me.
I did take some pens, and I even took a cup, but I didn't look at who made.
It happens not so much specifically with each pen or each bagel that you get, but it's something that occurs over time.
Do you feel like the presence of the pharmaceutical companies was excessive?
To be honest, no. No, not at all.
Good morning. Would you like to remind me coming up? What are you guys doing?
We're handing out copies of the ACP guidelines here on physician-industry relations. As a medical student, I'm very concerned about the way that currently doctors and pharmaceutical reps work together, and the fact that I don't think really that patients are getting the best care that they can because doctors are influenced by drug reps to prescribe drugs that they shouldn't be prescribing.
I think that it's a classic thing where people tend to think that they're not the ones being influenced. Everybody thinks it's somebody else. And I think that's the big problem. It actually turns out, I think some studies have shown that the people that think that they're not getting influenced tend to be the people who are being influenced the most. So.
Do you think that gifts like pens influence prescribing?
Absolutely not.
These newer drugs, these more expensive ones that are still on patent and will be on patent for probably 15 years, that are being promoted heavily, and that when those drugs get prescribed day after day after day, that drives up the price, the overall cost of drug therapy.
How many years have you been on those?
The Verapamil I'm being on for about 20 years. And then when my husband got sick and had Alzheimer's, all the stress and everything, then the Lipitor was added, then the Evista I'm on. I was on estrogen, then I had a little breast cancer in 1995, then they put me on the synthetic Evista, and because my ovaries are gone too, so there's no estrogen at all. And then my husband started to get Alzheimer's starting early in the 90s, and it became worse in 95, 96, and he passed away in 99. And all the stress, then I needed enalapril was added, and Lipitor was added to bring the cholesterol down. The Synthroid was discovered that I was low thyroid, etc., etc. So there's always and then they found out that I'm diabetic. Also from the stress, so there's also more and more. But this is like the last 4 years, 5 years collection. I'm very proud of my collection. I need the prices you would charge me if I have no prescription plan. I am on Epic. If you can also give me the Epic prices in my copay, I would appreciate it. But I need specifically the prices also that you charge without any plan.
We can't give you the prices with the insurance company. We have to run it through first.
Yeah.
Could just
Okay,
give you the
then
prices
just give me the regular.
Without insurance, I could give you the price.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Epic without any prescription plan, I would pay about $450, $460 a month, and that was last year's prices. I'm now making a survey also to get this year's prices over the counter if you have no plan. However, with Epic, my depending, I do not order the cream or whatever every month. It's from $85 to $95 to, let's say, average $90 a month.
So
my copay on Epic.
Less than 25% of what you would pay otherwise.
Yes.
So if you let your doctor know that you would prefer it if he didn't see drug reps, that would be a very powerful influence to get him to think.
One of the challenges that we had as drug reps were what we called goose eggs. These were physicians that, via the physician level prescribing data, every single week they came up as zeros, hence the goose egg term. And it became a challenge to get these physicians to write your product. With an inexhaustible supply of funding and nothing but time and the skill sets that I had, these physicians always gave in to writing prescriptions for us.
Medicine has come a long way, changed a great deal. To see the changes, and I love what's happening as far as to help people.